Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. Quick reminder about the lives that we've got coming up. We're live this evening at 8 o'clock where we're going to build up to the big fight on the weekend. But we're also going to talk, as you know, about absolutely everything, this four-man tournament. And if it doesn't happen, and I don't think it will happen, what next for AJ, Wilder, Fury, Usyk? We're going to talk about Conor Benn's return, Amir Khan in this failed drug test, which I feel like we're not talking about enough. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia is coming up. Joe Cordina versus Rakhimov. Everything. You guys know you ask the questions, I try and answer them. And we're live as well on Saturday, live watch along for Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang. That gets underway 8 o'clock as well. And we might do a Sunday session live depending upon how the fight plays out. Like if it's a crazy fight and we need to talk about it, then we'll do a Sunday session live as well. So we could have 3 lives back to back, but the one to focus on for now is tonight at 8 o'clock. So make sure you join me. All right, let's talk about the big fight this weekend from the Copper Box. I love it. I absolutely love this fight. And I was going to say it's gone under the radar, but I don't think it has. I think it's been given a good push. I think promotional wise, they've done a good job. It's a fight that none of us asked for. It's a fight that no one really thought about or expected, but it's a good fight. It really is. I do think that a lot of casual fans and some hardcore boxing fans as well like to focus on just the top 4 or 5 guys all fighting each other, right? You know, again, the 4-man tournament or Joyce fighting one of those guys. There's some really good matchups that can be made between guys in the top 15, and this is one of them. I actually think this is 2 guys in the top 10. I think no one has Joyce worse than 5 in the division. I know some of you have him higher than that. I think a lot of people just think it's Fury, Usyk, and then maybe Joyce. So Joyce is rubber stamped top 5. Rubber stamped, could be higher. I think Zhilei Zhang, and look, I know he didn't win on the record books, but I was there, guys. He beat Hrgovic. He did. Hrgovic, prior to that, was considered by many people a top 7, top 8 heavyweight. He was. I think with that win, Zhilei Zhang, for me, goes into the top 10. I think so. So again, you've got a fight, on the weekend between 2 top 10 heavyweights. That's solid. 2 top 10 heavyweights, both unbeaten. I say just because, remember, let's not forget Zhang's performance against Jerry Forrest. I think it was a majority draw, if I'm correct, and he struggled in that fight. I mean, he was literally, you know, when people say your second wind, he was on his 5th wind. He was struggling. So maybe lucky to get out of there with a draw. And again, I count the Hrgovic one as a win. I know the record book say he's got defeat, but fuck the record books. He won that fight for me. So you got 2 heavyweights, 2 very big heavyweights as well, 2 very good amateurs. We always like to talk about Joyce's Olympic silver medal, which a lot of people think should have been a gold. But I mean, Zhilei Zhang's amateur record is very good. Olympic medalist in Beijing, I think. AJ actually beat him. Remember, AJ beat him in 2012. He's won a couple of world championship medals as well. Asian Games gold medalist. So very, very decorated amateur. But look, I think it's a fantastic fight. Zhang is a problem just because I do think he's worked on his gas tank. I know he looked like he was struggling against Hrgovic, but the pace of that fight was actually, they fought at a very good pace. I'd love to look at the punch stats for that fight because punch output from both people was good in the first sort of 4 or 5 rounds, and then they're both just tired. And we know what Joyce brings to the ring. It's relentless. I mean, he's a fucking nightmare to fight. He really is. He's deceptively fast. He isn't deceptively fast, but he's not as slow as you think either. He isn't. He's got a chin that seems to be made from a comic book. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. And the reason I say this is because I've seen big heavyweights hit him now. Some big heavyweights land clean on him. Carlos Takam landed clean, maybe 20 or 30 times, nothing. Daniel Dubois cracked him, nothing. Joseph Parker, who has very decent power, maybe not in the same power bracket as a Daniel Dubois, but Joseph Parker cracked him, nothing. This guy's chin doesn't make sense. But he's also got a gas tank, Joyce, which is insane. It's insane. Like, his fitness levels are incredible. I'd love to watch what he does in a training camp, how he eats. I mean, does he do road work? Is he very old school of just sparring and road work? Because his fitness levels, his chin, his boxing IQ, which he doesn't get enough credit for. I mean, this guy ticks a lot of boxes. He really does. And it's funny because I've always been a fan of his just out of respect. Because again, you're getting through the ropes. But I've always felt like, what's he doing? In fact, it's funny. I got a story. I remember I did a video and I said homeless. I said, Joyce is homeless. And Sam Jones reached out to me and said, mate, your video's bloody out of order. And I went, why? Because he said he's not homeless. And I was like, well, he kind of is. Because he's fighting. It felt like, remember early in his career, it felt like he was just fighting everywhere for different broadcasters. I remember when he had David Hay early with him, it's just like he's everywhere. Like, find a home. He's now found a home. He's found a home in BT Sports. I actually took that video down out of respect. But he's now found a home at BT Sports. And I think he's found himself as well. I think he's found himself in the sense that we will all... No, in fact, he hasn't found himself because he is what he is. I think we now understand who he is. Like, I think we used to kind of laugh at the fact that he wasn't the greatest talker. You know, he couldn't cut a promo. But I feel like we've all just now got behind him. That's who he is. Not everyone can be Tyson Fury or Conor McGregor or Deontay Wilder. That's what he is. And we now enjoy it because we know, fuck what he does outside the ring. When he gets in the ring, he delivers. Like, you can't think of many more exciting heavyweights. Like, Joe Joyce gets in the ring and he gives you value for money. Whatever you've paid for your seat, you know what? I'm going to get my £40 worth or £50 worth, or I'm going to go ringside, a couple of hundred, because I know he's going to deliver. He always does. I think he is genuinely become the boogeyman of the heavyweight division. I really do. Very much in the mold of Kovalev coming through and Gennady Golovkin. He's now the boogeyman. But in Zhang, he's fighting someone that is happy to meet him head on. Zhang, again, deceptively fast hands, throws good combinations. I just watched a Hrgovic fight last night. Throws combinations, you know. You rarely see that in the heavyweight division. Normally in heavyweights, it's a jab. It's a jab to set up a right hand. You know, you might get 3 or 4 punches. Go and watch the Hrgovic fight again if you have time. Just go and watch the highlights. The highlights Sky have put on their YouTube channel. This guy is throwing 5 and 6s. Throwing 5 and 6s, sometimes even 7s. Which is incredible for a guy that size. And let's not forget, that old. Zhang's 39. He's no young kid. But I think Sean George, his trainer's done a good job with him. Remember, one thing which really surprised me about Sean, by the way, former fighter himself, very decent cruiserweight and light heavyweight. One thing that really surprised me when I was watching, because I was lucky enough to be ringside for Zhang Hrgovic, is Sean screaming out instructions, and not just instructions, but speaking to him in Chinese. I was like, whoa, this is incredible. Like, don't get me wrong, like, he couldn't say everything he wanted to say, so there was a guy there, I'm guessing part of the training camp or a translator, that Sean would talk to, and he would scream it out. But 9 times out of 10, it was Sean. And one thing Sean did say, he said, it took time getting Zhang to where Zhang is now, just because Zhang was stuck in this amateur Chinese way of fighting. I can't know what that is. We don't see many Chinese fighters, do we? But he said he was stuck in this Chinese way of fighting, and that can happen when you stay an amateur for as long as Zhang did. But finally, he's starting to kind of understand it. It might be a bit late, but he's starting to understand what his attributes are. And his attributes are the fact that this guy can hit fucking hard. And as a southpaw, he's a bit unique. There aren't many. One that we obviously clearly will know is Usyk, right? I mean, that's the best one out there, but there aren't that many. So it's difficult to get southpaw sparring. And I saw that caused a big problem for Hrgovic. Hrgovic got clipped very early with a very sneaky right hand over the top. It's almost like he was waiting for that big left, and Zhang threw a nice sneaky right. Zhang's a good boxer, people. He's a very good boxer. But look, this is going to be a fight that both of these guys are going to meet in the center of the ring and are going to test each other's chin, test each other's engine, and test each other's willpower. And that's a game that only can be won by Joe Joyce. You're testing my chin, you don't want to go there. You're testing my stamina, you don't want to go there. And I think the willpower thing as well could be with Joyce. I think Joyce is an incredible heavyweight. And as much as I like Zhilei Zhang, I just can't see a way in which Zhilei Zhang wins this fight. I really can't. But then again, I think 99.9% of people said that about the Hrgović fight. Joyce isn't Hrgović. Joyce is starting to put together a really good CV. You look at his last look at the names on the resume already. Bryant Jennings, solid. Bryant Jennings caused him the most problems, by the way. Hurt him to the body. Maybe Sean George has looked at that a bit. I don't see Zhang as a body puncher. His best punch is that uppercut through the middle. But maybe they looked at that a bit anyway. But look, Bryant Jennings, Carlos Takam, solid. Especially now, we saw Carlos Takam cause Yoka all sorts of issues. Carlos Takam, Dubois, Joseph Parker, and I think he'll add Zhang to the resume as well. That's solid. That's solid. And I'm happy that Joyce is treating us to this fight, because he could just sit it out and wait for a world title shot. He's next in line. He could sit it out. We've heard Bob Arum and Frank talk about the fact that his name is right up there, front and center for Fury in the summer. But he's like, no, I want to fight. And he's given us a very good fight. So look, my prediction is that this is a war. I just want to see what else is on the card. That this is a war, but Joyce comes through the war, because Joyce comes through every war. I did say the other day, they didn't know, that it's going to be someone that cracks him and surprises us, because you can't keep getting hit on the chin like that. That's just my thoughts on it. I know some disagree, and I respect your opinion, but for me, that chin will crack, and it could be Zhang the one to crack it. Don't know what's going on with my box rec. Box rec isn't open. Look, the other one though, the other big fight, I don't know if it's co-main event. I'm assuming it is Michaela Mayer versus Christina Linardatu. This for me is all about what's Linardatu got left as opposed to Michaela Mayer. I think we all know Michaela Mayer is a fantastic boxer, good amateur career herself. Moving up though to 135. She's clearly chasing Katie Taylor. That's what she wants, but she'll chase her to 140 if Katie beats Chantel, and Katie doesn't want to come back down to 135. But look, she's in and around a great division where there are big fights for her. I just hope that Linardatu can I want to say roll back the years. She's not fucking 50, but you know what I mean? Like, just hope she can be as good as she was before the pregnancy. We have seen some female fighters have babies and still perform well. Like Jennifer Han springs to mind, but it's going to be a tough ask for her. It really is. But look, I look forward to seeing what she can do. And I hope she does cause Michaela Mayer some problems, because I do want to see a competitive fight. But look, we are going to do the live watch along for that anyway at 8 o'clock on Saturday. So make sure you join us for that one. Really, really looking forward to Zhang Joyce, by the way. I think that's such a good fight. It is. Michaela Mayer on returning to UK media. To UK. Media-wise, I feel more appreciated out here. Influence is much greater. Yeah, I think it's just so much bigger out here, female boxing. So much bigger. Michaela was, when I spoke to her for DAZN, she was talking about sort of these Olympians. She mentioned two female Olympians, medalists, that can't even get fights. Like literally can't get promoters, can't get on shows. If they were over here, 100% that would happen. I mean, look at the way we've treated our Olympians. Look at Lauren Price and Caroline Dubois as examples of females that are being pushed. Lauren Price fights Kirsty Bavington, I think it is, isn't it, for the first British title. Like, we push our females. I'm not quite sure America does that yet. Well, clearly doesn't. I mean, you look at the success and the growth of Alicia Baumgardner. We push Alicia Baumgardner like she's a Brit. Like, you think about some of the fights she's been or had over here. Her biggest wins are over here, Michaela Mayer and Terry Harper. She's probably more known over here than she is in the States. That's how we push. I agree with Michaela Mayer. Kell Brook on Amir Khan. These fighters are taking drugs and cheating, and it's destroying this game. Yeah, I think there's a massive issue with drugs in boxing. Like, massive. I really do. I think it could be as big as cycling. People might like, well, no, I really think it's that big. I really do. I don't know how they get a grip of it. I'm not quite sure. Again, I think the only way is a world governing body. I really do. I think it's just mental, isn't it? It's just mental. I mean, seeing Jarrell Miller come back recently against Lucas Brown. I think he came back before that, didn't he? And I'm thinking, you had a pharmacy in your body. Like, you had a pharmacy. And now, it's funny, now people are telling me things like, man, I want to see AJ versus Jarrell Miller. I'm like, dude, this guy 2 years ago had a pharmacy in his body. You run straight in the 100 meters for 10 seconds, right? So you're not hurting anyone. You're running straight. You fuck up, you're out. You're done. You're done. But yet, the most violent sport in the world, you can cheat and it's a 6 month or a year ban. It's crazy. We have a drug problem in this sport that I don't know who's going to get a hold of it. You know, I was watching The Breakfast Club. Shakur Stevenson was on there. I don't know if you guys have seen this interview with Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy. And they were asking him about the Tank Ryan fight. And the way he just said, oh, yeah, Tank's going to knock him out. He was like, Tank's got far too much skill. It's the way he said it. And I respect Shakur, everything he says. And I'm like, I must have read this wrong. I think Ryan's going to cause him big problems. But the way in which he said it, like Tank's just far too skilled for Ryan. It does make me wonder if Tank sparred Shakur and Shakur understands just how good he is. But he dismissed Ryan just like, nah, ain't happening. Like, nope. And I'm like, wow. I don't know if there's been an issue with Shakur and Ryan. I don't know if that's the reason, but he dismissed Ryan just like that, which did surprise me a little bit. Errol Spence. Oh, look, Errol Spence tips his cap to Shakur Stevenson. He nice as fuck. Yeah, Shakur is incredible. Shakur really is. I'm excited watching Shakur Stevenson. I am. I watch him and I think he has absolutely everything in boxing. Like there's nothing he doesn't have. Absolutely. Like he unless something drastically goes wrong, he will be pound for pound number one sooner rather than later. Just what I think. You can tell me to shut up. I get it. What else have we got? 2 secs, peeps. Oh, it's my internet that's playing up. That's not even, I thought, what's going on with my internet? Oh, my internet's playing up, people. That's not good. How am I going to load the video? Anyway, look, we'll wrap it then. We'll wrap. Actually, this last one. Here we go. Tyson Fury promoter. We've not heard anything from Team Joshua regarding a fight. I find that so boring. I just find the whole thing so boring. God, I really do. I mean, sometimes you casual boxing fans are lucky because you don't get too. I'm not hardcore, by the way. I mean, I know some hardcore boxing fans. I'm definitely above casual, but I'm not hardcore. So thank God I like other sports. Like, thank God I love athletics and football and basketball. Do you know what I mean? And MMA. Thank God. If I just fucking liked boxing, I'd fucking kill myself. I swear to God. Exaggeration. But I'd go mad because it doesn't give you enough. Especially when it comes to these mega fights. It gives us little bits. It teases us. But the mega fights doesn't give us enough. But anyway, it is what it is. All right.